All right. Glad that you are here and tuning in to this presentation. This is Amplify Your Business with Growth Amplifiers, the Profit Growth Network. And my goal here today is to share with you how you can amplify your business leveraging this group, these resources, and the community overall. Now, my name is Kenny Harper, and I'm with Rock My Image. And here's the agenda for our webinar today. Number one, I'm going to give you an introduction to Growth Amplifiers Inner Circle, the group that is dedicated to amplify your business, leveraging your unique gifts so you can follow your true passion, serve a higher purpose. I'm also going to share with you the profit growth formula. A lot of what we're talking about in Growth Amplifiers really circles around this profit growth formula. It's not how much money you make in your business, it's how much money you get to keep. It's not how big your business is, it's how much results that you get from it. So you can be a small giant, and you can really love what you're doing by leveraging the profit growth formula. I'm also going to go over how to design your market dominating brand. It's a crowded world. There's a lot of competition. If you want to attract your ideal customers, you got to have a brand that's differentiated, that's unique, highlights the value that you provide, and attracts your ideal customers. I'm also going to go over the key foundations of a marketing machine. Now, the profit growth formula is the foundation of Growth Amplifiers. Building and designing your market dominating brand, it's a principle of, being a growth amplifier, you need to have a strong brand. And the core focus of what we're going to be working on to increase your profits are building your marketing machine. Regardless of what business you're in, you need to own marketing and sales. Think about it. Regardless of what business you're in, you need to own the process of being able to attract your ideal customers, converting those customers into sales, and then generating business. So that's what we're going to be going over today. And I hope you're taking some notes, or you can get a copy of this replay. It's important that you don't just think about these things, or you dismiss them saying, oh, I've heard this before, I know this. You may have heard some of these things before, but it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you're doing. It matters the results that you're getting. And you need to come into this webinar, this presentation, with an open mind, knowing that you don't know everything. And even if you do know a lot, there's always room for improvement. Sometimes we can get something down, we can implement it, it's working great for us, and then through time, we start letting it go. And so a refresher and something that's going to help prime the pumps, get things back up, are really what we need from time to time, getting that tune-up so we could run like a machine. And that's what Growth Amplifiers is all about. It's about building profits, doing the things that we love, enjoying the process. Too many people are out there working really hard, not enjoying the things that they love. So without further ado, let's get started with an introduction to the Growth Amplifiers Inner Circle. Exactly what I was talking about just a moment ago. There are a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs out there working really, really hard for a little return. They got that entrepreneurial myth, like it's highlighted in the E-myth, and they are working really hard and not getting the freedom and fulfillment that they want. And it's not their fault. That's really not outlined when we're thinking about what a business is supposed to do, because we see all these great case studies of these rich and successful businesses, but the reality is a majority of businesses are not that successful. A majority of businesses are just barely breaking even, or they're stagnant. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So we can stop that. We can stop working the hard way. We want to be a growth amplifier. We want to grow personally. We want to grow our mind. We want to grow our capabilities. We want to grow our skills so we can grow our profits and grow our freedom and fulfillment in what we're doing. So we want to stop working the hard way. What we're actually looking to do in Growth Amplifiers is help you build and generate a machine. We want to transform you to amplify your business so you can create a flood of leads, sales, and referrals, with your very own marketing machine. When you leverage the power of systems in your business, it can transform it from struggling and working job to job to that profitable, repeatable, consistent process that generates you profits time and time again. That's ultimately what most business owners want, but yet they don't focus on developing just that. So that's the problem. Typically, there's no strategy or systems in place to produce those results. So people end up spending more time or more money and get mediocre results. Again, this is not your fault. We're out there, we're seeing the big players, the big corporations advertise and market their business. We see what they're doing. We see commercials on TV, ads in publications. And what most business owners or entrepreneurs do is they look and see what everyone else is doing and they emulate it. But what's the problem with that? Most people don't know what they're doing, right? So if most business owners are struggling, why would we want to model that? You say, well, I model the big corporations, the big companies. Well, they're in a completely different spot. Coca-Cola, Sony, Macintosh, they can all afford to spend money on branding or on doing things for visibility because they're already an established brand. They're already an established name. We can't model after businesses that aren't doing things consistently. We can't model after large corporations that are in a completely different league. The solution to this obviously is to create strategies for your business and systems that can repeat the process, that can automate the process. And in turn, you'll spend less time and less money and achieve optimal results. Now, this is not thought or theory. This is not fad. This is following proven process that has been used for over 20 years. We're going to share with you, and it is our mission to empower you and other businesses to build strategic marketing systems. Strategic marketing systems, including the lead attraction system, a system to attract leads to you. Now, if you're working harder, you're not attracting leads, you're chasing them. We want to attract your ideal customers to you and then nurture those relationships so we can convert those leads into sales. You may generate a lot of leads, but it's not how many leads you generate, it's how many sales they convert, right? And once you get a new customer, a new client, it's not just how much sales you have. You want to repeat that business. When you have more sales that are repeatable, that are referring to other businesses, that's how you can really amplify and grow. Again, this may not be rocket science in the process. Okay, 1, 2, 3, I get it, right? But do you have proven systems that are working for you, producing consistent results? Are you playing every ace? Are you playing your best hand? In most cases, people aren't. There's opportunity for improvement. That's where we come in as growth amplifiers to try to help refine these systems and these processes to be optimal, to get optimal results. It's true, what you focus on grows. So that's why we're focusing on systems, strategic marketing systems to increase your leads, sales, conversions. Now, again, I mentioned we have following a proven process. This is not something that we developed overnight. This is a proven process that has been used around the world by companies that have taken their business from startup to small business to medium and global corporations. This is the process. In Growth Amplifiers, we're sharing the resources that we've gained that have been the best. We have a library full of trainings, downloads, checklists, and more. We're putting on in-person events to develop a community, to connect with people, to really provide transformation. We host regular Ask the Experts calls where we can answer your questions one-on-one. We're kicking off a Facebook community where we can post and group members can connect together. And then we're going to be publishing quarterly, timely things that are latest trends and things of that nature. A lot of what we're covering in Growth Amplifiers are the foundations. It's building the foundations that will make something strong and solid. There are a lot of different apps out there, different techniques, different strategies that you can use, but they change so rapidly. But if you don't have the solid foundations, you're going to be chasing and running in circles endlessly. Build solid foundations, they can last a lifetime. So that's a little bit about growth amplifiers. Now, how do we amplify as the facilitators of growth amplifiers? Number one, we provide clarity. We help you define a bold vision. We offer fresh perspective, and we offer accountability. So we're helping you stay to the course. When you're committing to be in a process, to be in a community, you're going to be more likely to continue with it. And when you continue with something, when you commit with something, you're going to get the results. Number two, we're going to refine your brand. When you refine and elevate your brand to attract your ideal customers, influence people's decisions, that's how you can increase your prices. The people who get paid the most get paid for who they are, not what they do. Marketing. We're going to share with you marketing strategies and systems to earn business. Again, regardless of what industry you're in, the size of your business, you want to own the process of marketing. And when you know it and really know your business, you can direct it and make sure that it's being done right. Sometimes companies will hire a marketing company and they'll do a decent job of doing some sort of lead generation tactic. But that company most likely doesn't look at behind the scenes of your business. They don't fully understand the ins and outs. And if they're not putting your business as their focus, then they're not playing the best hand that possibly could be played. So when you know marketing and you can help direct it, that's how you can make sure that you're getting the best play, whether you're doing it personally or you're hiring an agency to do it. You want to be involved in the marketing process. You want to know it and own it. You're the business owner or you're helping grow a business. You want to know this. You want to own it. Strategic planning. We help members with strategic planning, whether it's mapping out their value ladder, their do-it-yourself, done with you, done for you, ways of creating their business, strategic ways of pricing, of marketing, of sales. It's helping with strategic planning so you're not just working in the business, you're working on the business. We also help with systems optimization. You may have systems that you're using. We'll look at your system. We can help optimize that system, make sure that you're using something that is getting the results you want so you can save time and money. And last but not least, we have a process that will help you elevate your status so you can attract new opportunities. You can attract new business. You can attract your ideal customers. That is how we amplify. Now, how do you amplify? You're a growth amplifier. You need to come bringing your game, right? And this is how you amplify. You're going to come in with the right attitude. You need to come in with the right attitude because mindset is a majority of the results that you have in your life. Look around you. Look at the results you have in your life. The things you have and the things you don't have are largely a part of the things that you believe. Your attitude. You have an abundant attitude, a positive mindset, a can-do attitude. When you have the right attitude, you can start taking the right actions. You take the right actions, you build the right habits. You build the right habits, you're going to build the right reality. Number two, your expertise. Expertise in your industry. To be a growth amplifier, you really need to have the expertise of your craft, know your business, really know it in and out. If you want to provide more value, provide more service to people, you need to be an expert in your field. You can't be an authority if you really don't know your craft. So if you're just getting started in your industry, that's fine. But you want to be able to continually learn so you can be an authority in the space. Drive. You got to be able to commit to achieve results. You got to have the drive. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill talks about one of the most important characteristics and traits of people who are successful is people who have the drive. They have the desire to achieve results. For companies around the world for several decades. Again, we're not coming up with groundbreaking new strategies and tactics that are the latest apps or trends that may be hot today and gone tomorrow. This is foundational material that most people don't take the time to focus on and implement, and therefore they don't get the results. So you got to have the drive and commit to achieve the results. The results are up to you. Attendance, 10 out of 12. It's basically saying we want you to be in attendance. We want you to be present. We want you to be here taking action. Now, there may be times that you're going on vacation or you unplug for a little bit. That's going to happen. But out of 12 different sessions, we want to make sure that you're in at least 10 of them, that you're staying focused, you're being committed to the process. And again, it's about implementation. It's not what you learn. It's not what you know. It's what you do. It's what you implement. Follow the systems and strategies. Implement them into your business. You can't expect to get new results if you're doing the same thing you've always done. Does that make sense? Awesome. So last but not least, communication. You must keep in touch. If there are things you don't understand or things that aren't working for you, or you have challenges or problems or don't know what to do or take the next step, you got to be able to communicate that. Communicate that to the group so we can ensure that you're getting the right direction and the right resources to get to take the right actions you need to take to get the right results that you're looking for. That's how you amplify. That's how you come to the table. So we have different ways to amplify your business, by the way. We have books, products, training courses, etc. For people who may just look to do it themselves. This Growth Amplifiers program is really a do it with help, a done with you sort of approach. This is kind of a group coaching. We're going to have workshops, seminars, and we're going to be working together to have this transformation, to amplify your business. And we do have an agency and we have partners, strategic partners, that we can help with done-for-you services. So if you need something done for you, you don't have the time to create it, you need something executed, then we can also assist with that. But this Growth Amplifiers program is really a place where we can come together and we can work together to amplify your business. Now, we do offer one-on-one coaching as well for the people who need a little bit more one-to-one attention. But this is how we're going to get things done. We're going to focus on following the system. All right, now we kind of set the stage about growth amplifiers. Let's talk about the profit growth formula. As mentioned early on, this is the foundation of growth amplifiers. I want you to know the profit growth formula, be able to think about it, recite it, teach it to other people. You need to be able to know that this is the way that your business is going to grow more profits. Regardless of the size of your business could be wildly profitable or not. There are solo entrepreneurs making more than large companies. This can be done, but you want to be able to follow this process and really understand it and make sure that you're not just knowing it, but you're actually implementing it and putting your time, energy, and attention to increasing your 5 key profit drivers. So let me talk about what the profit growth formula is. There are 5 key profit drivers in a business. Your leads. How many leads are you getting coming into your business? How many people are kind of interested in what you do, the value you provide, the solutions you have to offer? You need leads in order to make sales. Leads are great. You obviously would like to attract ideal leads, your ideal customer. You got to start off with just generating leads at the very least. Those leads come in. Now it's not how many leads you have. You got to turn those leads into sales. Those are conversions. When you take a lead and convert that into a sale, a customer, that is a conversion. Transactions. Once you have a customer, that's not just when that process ends. Most people get a little too focused on looking after the next customer and forget that repeat business is the way that you really can amplify your business. So, number of transactions a customer has in your business, if you can increase that, that increases your bottom line. Price point. If you're selling things that are really inexpensive, say $1, you would have to sell a lot of them to make substantial money. If you increase your prices, say to $100 or $1,000, you've got to sell less. It makes sense. Increase your prices, you have to sell less to make more revenue. But again, it's not how much money you generate, it's how much money you get to keep, your profit margin. If you don't have a healthy profit margin, you can actually be working yourself into debt. There are companies that don't pay attention to their profit margin, and they're selling products or services that are actually costing them money. So if you don't do anything else from growth amplifiers, at least implement and keep track of these 5 key profit drivers in your business. As soon as you start tracking these in your business, they'll start to improve. And when you put your time, energy, and attention and put your focus on improving these 5 KPIs in your business, That's how you're going to amplify your business. And that's the process that I outline in Amplify Business Breakthroughs in 45 minutes. How I find 10K in any business in 45 minutes. If you haven't received a copy of this, let me know. I can send you a copy. Now here's an illustration. The profit amplifier effect. Right on the screen, what you'll see right now are the 5 key profit drivers: leads, conversion rate, transactions, price, profit margin. And if you start tracking these numbers, you can start seeing what they produce for your business. Your leads and conversion rate will determine the number of customers you have. The customers you have times the transactions that the customers have in your business and the price point that they're paying will determine the revenue that you're making. And again, your profit margin determines how much of that you get to keep. So this example may be an example of a company like a hair salon. You get 1,000 leads in per year, 25% conversion rate makes 250 customers. The average customer may come in 10 times a year, paying around $100. That's around $250,000 of revenue. Not bad for a small business. 25%, $62,000. That's not bad. Now, what if we worked to improve those KPIs? Now, most people get caught up in trying to increase their profits or their money by working harder, by doing more business, having more customers, and that's all they focus on. But if you focused on the 5 key profit drivers and work to increase them by a small percentage, and you're tracking them and you're putting new strategies and systems in place to increase them, do you think you can increase them by 20% in a year's time? It's possible. Going from 1,000 leads to 1,200, from a conversion rate of 25% to 30, takes our customers from around 250 to 360. Our transactions from 10 to 12, our price from 100 to 120. Takes our revenue from 250,000 to 518,400. Increase your profit margins by 20%, and now your profits go from 62,500 to over 155,000. That's more than double the profits, with just a 20% increase in these 5 key profit drivers. That's 249% growth. Starting to see how powerful the profit growth formula is and why it's the heart and soul of growth amplifiers? That's what it's about. You start focusing on what you can do to improve each of these areas. That's how you're going to amplify your business. Now, what do you got to do to get started? What are the first things that we do, growth amplifiers? We say you need to start tracking and define your benchmark. Where are you currently at now? If you're not tracking these numbers, if you don't know what they are, you need to start. A lot of people say, oh, I kind of know generally, I get approximately. If you're estimating, chances are you're going to estimate wrong. If you estimate wrong, your numbers are not going to be accurate. How can you successfully calculate success if you don't have accurate numbers? So at least we want to start to try to track these numbers. And even if you're tracking and it's not perfect, it's better than guessing and being way off. So we can give you a resource to start tracking these 5 key profit drivers: your leads, conversions, transactions, prices, and profits. Start tracking these numbers today. Start tracking these numbers, and you can start working to improve each of these areas. Does that make sense? Do you see yourself doing that? Can you do that? Well, if you're really a business owner that wants to get amplified results, wants to have more freedom and fulfillment, make more profits, make more money in your business, this is what you need to do in order to achieve it. You can't just half-butt working in your business and expect to get the results. The successful people look at these numbers. They track these numbers. They work on improving them. So make sure that you're doing this now. Make sure that you know your numbers and you're working on improving them, right? So once you know your numbers and you're tracking them, then it's time to develop an action plan. Your action plan is really setting smart goals and determining what are the strategies and tactics that you're going to put into play to increase each of those 5 KPIs. What are the actions that you're going to implement? And we say, create an action plan. Look, you want to set different timelines and different goals. You maybe want to look at, what do you want to be in 3 years? All right. Then reverse engineer it. Go back to 1 year. Where do you want to be a year from now? All right, reverse engineer. What do you need to be in the next quarter? The next 3 months. That's 90 days. And then how can you create an action plan to make sure that you have smart goals defined, that you're taking the right actions, and you're not wasting your time doing things that are not important to the results that you're aiming to achieve. This sounds very basic and very straightforward, but it is very common for most businesses to get off course, to lose focus, to overextend, to not achieve the results because they haven't developed the process and systems and committed discipline to achieve the results through a consistent basis. That's where this action plan comes into place. And we have the Rockstar Professionals 90-Day Action Planner, a book, a guide that we can help journal your goals. We have the resource and the tracker that you can plan it out. You know where you're at. You can track your key performance indicators. You can track your actions. You can see what's being completed. And when you do this, you delegate it, you have a plan, you stick to it, you execute it. That's how you're going to amplify your business. There's no other way about it. This may come to challenge some people because you may have to cut out some things that you're doing now that you really like doing, but it's not serving your bolder vision. It's not serving your results. You also may need to start doing some things you don't like doing or that are challenging for you to do. But growth amplifiers is about growing. Is it about working to achieve new results through growing, through taking new actions, taking bold actions? So that is going to be part of the process. You need to grow as a growth amplifier. You can't expect to be the same person and take the same actions to get different results. It's just not going to happen. We're going to challenge each other to grow, help hold each other accountable, make sure that we're staying on course. That's what the benefit is of being part of this community. And by the way, if you want to ensure a return on investment in this program, you got to leverage the group. You got to leverage the systems. There are many people who sign up for a course or for a membership of a group, or they buy some book, they don't read it, they don't implement it, they don't leverage it. If you want to ensure you have a return on investment, ensure that you're actually achieving the results that you're aiming to achieve, you've got to leverage the group, you got to follow the systems, you got to put things in play. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope you're on board because this is transformative. You own this process, then you could turn it into not only growing this business that you're working on now, you could be a serial entrepreneur if you choose to be. You'll have developed the skills and processes needed to grow businesses. Serial entrepreneurs and successful people who have multiple successful businesses have mastered these strategies, these tactics, and the discipline to implement them. That's it. Most other people have not. So growth amplifiers, we're building the community to come together to master and implement these ideas. Sound cool? All right. So imagine 1 year from now, what would you like to have achieved? Imagine what you would have liked to accomplish. Imagine how much money you'd like to make. Imagine the type of work you'll be doing on a daily basis. Imagine who you'll be working with. Picture it in your mind. Take a deep breath. Feel, okay, exhale too. Feel the feeling of what it would be like to actually have this working to where these systems are producing results on a consistent basis. You're achieving your results. You've developed the processes, systems, and routine to build consistent results and growth. Imagine what you could do with that. It's all possible. It is all possible. And by being in this program, you're committing to yourself that that is your goal and your intent. By being in this group, you're committing to yourself that you're going to follow a process, you're going to work on taking the actions, you're going to commit to getting the results that you want. That's how you achieve the results you want. You've got to commit. You got to have the desire and discipline to take the right actions to get the result. All right? So it feels good to imagine, but we've got to put it into action. So we talked about the profit growth formula, and now we're going to talk about the key foundations of a marketing machine. I mentioned this early on, marketing machine. Why do we want a marketing machine? Well, if you get most of your business businesses. If you get most of your business through referrals, that's great. That's showing that you're doing something awesome. But there's a challenge with that. It's very hard to scale. You have very little control over it. You do a great job, you get referrals, wonderful. Referrals are perhaps one of the best ways to get business, but it requires other people to refer you. And there are some things you can do to help try to elevate that and escalate that. We have a system that we can help implement to increase the chances of getting referrals. But again, you have a little control over that. You may say, I get most of my business through networking. That's great, but there's a challenge with that too. It takes your time, and you only have so much time. It's hard to scale. It's hard to scale networking. It can't be everywhere at once. So if you're not everywhere at once, you're missing out on some opportunity. It's really hard to extend that across the nation. Think of the most successful companies. Do you think the most successful companies are always, the business owners are always networking? No, at some point in time, you make more money than you can afford to advertise and market your business to attract your ideal customer. So let's talk about the key foundations of a marketing machine. And I'm a certified magnetic marketing, attraction marketing specialist. And I'm sharing with you a process that has been used again around the world for over 20 years and produced results for thousands of companies in different industries. Marketing machine, when you follow these systems, will produce consistent results. And that's why you'd want to use them. You'd want to have consistent results. If you don't know, if you can't track, if you can't actually plan and say, hey, I'm going to spend X amount of money and get X amount of ROI, then your business is less of a business and more kind of something that's working on chance. When you could run it like an engine, that is where it's amplified, right? So again, having a marketing machine that can produce consistent results will give you more time and freedom. So you can work on building relationships. So you can go out and connect with the community if you so choose to, but you know the results are actually being done by your machine. And last but not least, the process to follow. If you don't have processes, if you don't have systems in place, kind of running in circles trying to get results. So having these things in place to get consistent results for more time and freedom is really what we're focusing on, building your marketing machine. Following along? Hope so. All right, so there are three main systems that we're going to be chatting about, talking about. Number one, your lead attraction system. What is a system that you have in play that is attracting leads to you? Again, you could be chasing leads, you could be trying to push your message on other people, or you can attract leads to you. Now, most people have some sort of process where they may be getting leads, but are you playing every ace? Are there things you could do to amplify the results that you're getting, to streamline your system, to make sure it is running efficiently, generating a consistent number of leads? Number two, your sales conversion system. Having leads is great, but you want to make sure that you're converting those leads into sales. Statistics show that it takes, on average, anywhere between 10 to 12 follow-ups with a lead or impressions with a lead before that lead turns into a sale. That is because there's this thing called the buyer's journey. Some people may not be in the market right now. Sometimes it's about establishing trust. If you don't have the system in play that's going to nurture the leads that do come to your door, that's going to keep you top of mind, that's going to help overcome objections they may have, or highlight the benefits they may have, or build credibility with that lead, you're missing the full opportunity. You got to have a sales conversion system. Can you do something that will shock and awe, that will demand attention, that will take that person who's on the fence and convert them from being a lead into a customer? Remember when we were looking at the profit growth formula, just a 20% increase in your leads and your sales conversion rate can have a big impact on your bottom line. But there are other profit drivers too, right? The customer retention system. It's not just having the customers. You want to be able to have those customers be repeat customers, be referral customers. You need a system for that too. Most business is lost due to perceived indifference. So if you don't have a system that's keeping you top of mind, continuing to provide value, continuing to win back that trust and loyalty from your customer, helping produce raving fans, you're missing an opportunity. Does that make sense? And if you don't have these systems clearly defined, working for you, then you're not playing every ace. So in this presentation, we're not going to go through the step-by-step play for each of these systems. We don't have the time to do that. But what I want you to understand is Grow the Amplifiers is going to help work you through that process. That's what being part of the group is all about, is developing these systems that could work in your business for consistent results. So the first thing we're going to look at is your lead attraction system. Number one, we need to have some sort of lead magnet. If we're trying to sell people through advertising or social media, it's going to be hard. People don't know who you are, and they're not necessarily looking for what you have. Or if they are, right then and there, you're looking at a very small fraction of the market. If you have a lead magnet, you know who your market is, clearly define them. You have your message defined that is really pinpointing their pain, their hot buttons, and then you're using the right medium to get that message to the market. Then you have a lead magnet that will attract that lead to come to you. That's how you're going to attract more leads. Then we like to say to have an amplified offer. Have something that's more than just a download. Have something that's more than just a little tchotchke. Have something that will actually provide value, build trust, build rapport right away. And then make sure that you're leveraging a multi-step campaign. If people see you in one spot, and that's all they see you, that could work, that could also be somewhat effective. But if they see you more places, if you're being able to follow up and have more touch points, if you're being able to play your hands different than other people in your industry, you're going to be able to dominate your market. So the lead attraction system is really to focus on increasing the leads. And when you have this attraction system in play and it's optimized, it will increase your profits because you're going to get more return on investment from your marketing efforts. Make sense? All right, so the next thing is your sales conversion system. You need a system that will help nurture relationships. There are different automated marketing systems out there that can help with email, text. You could use direct mail. You could use newsletters. You can create videos. You can create memberships. There's a lot of different things you could do to create and nurture relationships. So what we want to think about is the sales conversion system that will nurture those relationships and provide more value. Do you have one in place? Do you really know what you're doing? A lot of people have some systems that they're kind of leveraging. Maybe they're sending out a regular email, but they're sending out kind of blah, blah sort of information that's really not establishing trust. It's not building rapport. It's not overcoming objections. So you want to make sure that you're using a tool, a system, messaging that is actually working people through your sales process. You want to build credibility. There's ways to do that, either by elevating your authority or by sharing reviews, case studies, association articles, thought leadership, making your content entertaining where people will digest it, will consume it, and look at the content because you're providing value, you're making it worthwhile. That's going to build credibility. But then if you just entertain people all the time and you're just providing value all the time, but you never ask for the date, you never bust a move and have a call to action that gets people to take the next step, you can't expect them to know how to do it on their own. They're busy people. Everyone's busy. Everyone's being distracted, being called to do this, to do that. So you got to have a call to action that's compelling. Get people to raise their hand and take the next step. Your sales conversion system will increase your conversion rate. It will increase the average number of transactions you have per customer. It will increase your average dollar sale per customer, and it will increase your profits. You need to have your sales conversion system. And when you have that, again, that'll help you convert more of your leads into sales. But if you don't have a customer retention system in place, then they could be coming in, staying for a little bit, and going right out. You need to have some sort of process that's going to show appreciation. It's going to make people feel like they're wanted, they're welcomed, they're appreciated. When people are appreciated, they're more likely to stay loyal and attentive, to be part of the group, to be one of your customers. Education. Have you ever had a product or service that you've offered and then one of your contacts, one of your family members or friends, they bought that product or service from somebody else? And you're like, what are you doing? You could have got that from me. And they're like, I didn't even know you had that. Is that their fault? No, it's typically our fault. we've got to make sure that we're educating people on the value that we provide, the solutions that we provide that can help them. If they don't know, how do you expect them to ever take advantage of it? And sometimes you may think that you're putting out the right message, but you got to make sure that you're really, really putting out a message that's clear, direct, and connects with that person. If you have a wide audience that you serve, you may have to have different campaigns or different messages that will work with different people. Referrals. Again, having people refer your business is great. It's one of the most profitable ways that you can grow your business. However, most people don't have a referral system in place that is educating their clients, that's asking for referrals, that's helping their clients understand how to refer a business. And having a customer retention system that shows appreciation, that educates the different products and services that you have, that asks for referrals and makes it easy, that's how you're going to get more of that. And this will increase the average number of transactions, the average dollar sale, and the profits. So you remember from the profit growth formula that we covered earlier, when you can increase each of your 5 key profit drivers by a small percentage, that's going to increase your profits. That's going to increase your bottom line, giving you more time, freedom, and fulfillment. It's not about being busier, how big your company can be. Well, if you want to grow a big company, that's up to you. Personally, with me, I'd rather stay lean, have my time and freedom, and be able to make more profits so that I can serve and connect with people that really appreciate the value that I provide. So the size of the company is not the biggest thing for me. It's really how much value I can provide by profits that are coming in the business, giving me the freedom to do so. Now, we talked about the 3 main components. You have the 3 main components. You're getting the leads, you're getting the sales, you're getting the conversions. Now, you can do all these processes manually. You could have them all written out to where you're manually working through implementing these things, or your team's working to implementing these things, or your virtual assistants are working to implement these different systems, or you can leverage technology and put it on autopilot. When you have technology working for you, you're going to save time, money, even be more profitable. So you're going to start off by needing to have a structured sales process. You need to have this mapped out, outlined, making sure that you're playing every ace, you're being consistent with the approach so you can get consistent results. Large franchises, big companies, they've spent a lot of time and a lot of money developing these things. And that's how they actually worked to grow and become scalable and replicable, because they have these systems in place. So you need to make sure that you have your structured sales process in place, and you have your lead attraction system, your sales conversion system, your customer retention system. Then, once you have those systems in place, now you can leverage and really implement automation. There's a trend right now happening where people see there's automated marketing services, and they're quick to jump on and start automating different parts of their business. But they haven't really started and looked at, are their systems really refined? Are they really working to automate in the first place? If you automate something that's broken, you're just going to automate something that's broken. When you really have your systems refined, fleshed out, thought through, working for you, that's when you can really implement and leverage automation to its fullest capacity. Now, I'm not saying if you have automation tools right now that you should just throw them away, even if you don't have these systems fully fleshed out, but I just want you to know that automation itself is not the solution. Automating systems that produce results is the solution. Does that make sense? I hope so, because Growth Amplifiers is really going to help work with you to make sure that you're developing your sales process, working through developing your systems, and then we can help you with getting it implemented through automation. That's how some of these really successful companies are able to grow to the size that they are, either in profits or in actually size of company. Depending on your goals, you may have your execution plan may be a little bit different from someone else, but the process is going to be different regardless of the size of your business now or the industry that you're in. Again, when you put these systems in place, they'll increase all 5 of the 5 key profit drivers, increasing your bottom line. And when you continue to look at these, fine-tune, implement new strategies into each of these areas, they're going to continue to go higher and higher, making that scalable business continuing to be better and better through time. So that's your marketing machine, your lead attraction system, your sales conversion system, your customer retention system, ultimately producing more profits by increasing your 5 key profit drivers. So that's what Growth Amplifiers is, the community that we're focusing on, developing these systems, putting them into play, getting the results by playing every ace. All right, so now the last leg of this wonderful overview of Growth Amplifiers and the things that we're going to be looking at in the Profit Growth Network is elevating your market dominating brand. So it's helpful early on. Part of the lead attraction system and your sales process is going to be to define your basic brand, your brand promise, your unique selling proposition. But once you've developed an initial brand, you start getting those leads and sales in, you can work on elevating that brand to the next level. The first part, as just started to mention, your claim to fame, your unique selling proposition, excuse me, move my microphone a little bit. Your claim to fame is your unique selling proposition. How can you stand out from the crowd and attract attention? It's a very competitive world. There's a lot of competition out there. You got to do something that's unique, that's noticeably different, and attract attention. Let people know the value you can provide. But if they know that, you've got to have some sort of edge, something that's different, your claim to fame, that's going to help showcase why your solution, your product or service is better than a competitor's. If you don't do this, if you don't have a compelling reason why that your product or service or you as a service provider are different or better than your competitors, then it's going to be looked at as a commodity. And commodities have nothing else to compete on than price. So you got to have something that differentiates you. And then last, how to provide more value that can eliminate price as a factor. People think sometimes that because a lot of people do shop for prices, that price is the bottom line. It's really not. It's not the price, it's the value. People buy on value or perceived value. When they perceive something as more valuable in one of many different factors, then price is no longer a factor, and your claim to fame can help do that. So part of Growth Amplifiers, we're going to work with you to help develop your claim to fame. What is it that makes you unique? Now, this may be your personal brand, your style, how you communicate. It may be the movement, the mission that you're serving. It may be your proven process that differentiates your service, process, or whatever via innovation. It's going to connect with your ideal customers. When your customers can connect with your brand, they're going to be more loyal. You're going to attract the right people. It's just like putting out a frequency. If you put out a frequency or a signal, you're going to attract something that will be tuned into that frequency and they'll receive it. And then you want to communicate super value, right? When you communicate super value and provide more value, whether it's perceived or actual value of a product, then that's how you can eliminate price as a factor. You don't have to compete on price when you're providing more value. That value may be in what you put in your offer by bundling different things together. That value could be in offering a superior product or service, making something different there. It could be your proven process. It could be your overall brand. There are jeans that are on the market that will sell for over $1,000. They're not any different from jeans that you could buy at the store for $20. But the brand is different. When people put value into the brand, then that makes the difference. It's more value. It's association. And there's a process for that too. And the next thing we're talking about really is how you can elevate the value of your brand through authority marketing. So if you're a business owner, product or service, authority marketing is really how you're going to differentiate. There's only one you. But if you're not leveraging your authority, if you're not putting yourself as an expert in your industry, if you're not doing things to differentiate yourself and let people know why they should do business with you, then you're missing the full opportunity of being a solopreneur or a business owner or a industry specialist. Authority marketing builds your visibility and credibility in your field that uses thought leadership in a way to drive business and make a bigger impact. right? So authority is when you take expertise, your knowledge, your expertise, your background, your credentials, and amplify it with celebrity status. So why authority marketing? It helps level the playing field and accelerates trust. What you think about for a moment. Large corporations and businesses will hire celebrities or influencers now to market the business. Why do they do that? Because people trust celebrities or influencers. Why do they do that? Because they believe they know them. They've developed a sort of connection, recognition, just recognition, association. This person's in a movie, I recognize them, therefore they must be someone I should listen to. So it's not really who that person is. You really don't know the actor and who they are as a person. But the perception that you have is really what sells the deal. So remember, perception is reality. It doesn't matter how things actually are. It matters how people perceive them to be. As growth amplifier, you want to leverage your authority through authority marketing so that you're elevating your status and your authority expertise, attracting your ideal customers, earning their trust, accelerating that trust, and ultimately amplifying your business. So authority marketing, there are 7 pillars of thought leadership. I'm going to give you a quick overview. Number 1 is branding and omnipresence. You need to have a brand, it needs to be defined, and you need to be omnipresent. It needs to be everywhere. People need to see it consistently. If you have something good to say it repeatedly. Let people see it again and again. Just seeing your face several times will start building your rapport with other people. Lead generation. Attracting leads to you. You need to have a lead attraction system. Content marketing. Creating content that's authoritative, that's sharing your point of view, that's putting your thought process out there for others to see. Earn trust. Public relations, media. Leveraging public relations, being in the media. There's opportunities that you can leverage to get your name in different publications, increasing the trust in your authority status. Speaking. It's one of the number 1 fears of people is being in front of a crowd speaking. But when you speak, you're the authority of that event. You're showing thought leadership. Being able to speak your message, whether in video form or in person, is very important. Or you could do it by audio as well. Events, having your own events, creating a sense of community, connecting with other people, creating an experience. Events can be very helpful in authority. And referral marketing, having your retention and referral marketing system. You want other people to refer you that have clout and authority themselves. When you have other people transfer some of their authority to you, that's going to ultimately increase the authority to your direction, right? So you have other people who have good trust and rapport referring you, that's going to increase your authority, your association, okay? So those are the overview. Here on the screen, I'm sharing one of the clients who've been part of the Rock My Image experience, Wendy Griffiths. She's a realtor, and she joined our program, and she, was doing things right in her business, but she was kind of playing it safe. She kind of felt a little out of place, tooting her own horn. She didn't want to be seen as that me sort of person in her industry. And we helped her to understand that, when you elevate your own status and share yourself as a brand and elevate your authority, it's not trying to do it for the sake of being you and being all about you. It's doing it so you can help more people, so you can serve more people. Intent is huge. If your intention is just to be the biggest ego ever, then it's probably going to come off that way. But if your intention is to serve more people and be able to provide more people more value, because there's other people that could serve these people. And if you're not the one who's going to step up to the plate, knowing that you're a good person, knowing that you can provide a lot of value, then you're leaving those relationships to chance. So that's why you want to elevate your authority. And I practice what I preach. I worked on elevating my authority when I first started my first business. I was kind of the behind the scenes guy doing things on, behind the computer screen. And I worked to get in publications, to get in the media, to do speaking events, And now I'm an international speaker, published author, and featured in media, which is attracting business to me, which is increasing my visibility, my credibility, and ultimately the profitability of my business. But it took focus and intent to follow the system and implement it. And that's what Growth Amplifiers is all about. Elevating your authority. I've had the opportunity to do things I wouldn't have even thought possible before. If you knew me as a kid, you know that I was shy. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, and I had no idea what I was doing when it came to running a business. But I started investing in myself and my knowledge, being part of programs, working with coaches to help me grow, and it has made a difference in the actions that I take and the results that I get. And that's what I want to offer you, being a part of Growth Amplifiers. So, Growth Amplifiers, recap. We want to be profit growth oriented. We can look at the profit growth formula. I want you to know it. I want you to know your numbers. I want to make sure that you're implementing systems and putting tactics and strategies in place to increase those numbers. Marketing systems. You need to have your marketing systems, your lead attraction system, your sales conversion system, and your client retention system all in place, all working for you, and hopefully at some point automated. And last but not least, you want to elevate your authority. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs. They have built their brands where, regardless of what business they start, most of the time they're successful because their brand is powerful enough to bring the success to that business. Now, how do you get started here with Growth Amplifiers? Number one, determine where you're at right now. We need to assess where you're currently at and set a goal of where you want to go. Number two, you're going to create an action plan to achieve the success. And number three, you want to leverage the group and the resources. It's pretty much the process. Assess where you're at, create a plan to achieve the results you want, leverage the group and resources to achieve the results. Now, I'll leave you a couple more tips as we end this session, this overview of how to amplify your business with Growth Amplifiers. Tips for success in this program. Number one, sign up for an onboarding appointment. You have an onboard appointment with a coach, and they can make sure that you have access to all the resources you need to have access to. They can walk you through the process, make sure that you're set up for success. Number two, schedule time in your calendar. Oh my goodness. You are the captain of your ship. You're going to be the producer of the results you get in your business. You want to make sure that you don't just learn the information, you don't just see it, but you're actually implementing it into your business. You need to schedule time in your calendar to work on your business, to implement these ideas. If you do not do this, you cannot expect change. Hello. Number three, read Growth Amplifier emails. You're going to get a decent amount of emails coming from the system, walking you through either various trainings, exercises. There are some that are really important. There are some that may not be applicable where you're at in your business. But you want to make sure that you're looking at them and not just seeing one come in and deleting it or following it in a folder and not even looking at it. You got to read, make sure that you're staying in tune and you're taking advantage of the opportunities. Participate in the private Facebook group. You want to make sure that if you're in Growth Amplifiers, you have access to the private Facebook group and you participate so that you're connecting with other people who have like minds, who are on the similar track and aiming to achieve similar results. And last but not least, one of the most important things ever, commit to achieving your results. The things that you have in your life or the things that you do not have in your life are ultimately up to you and the actions you take and your commitment to achieving the results that you want. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. Growth Amplifiers is not claiming to be some group that if you join, you're going to magically be in a different spot. Growth Amplifiers is a group, a community that will give you guidance, tools, and resources, and support and accountability to help you take the steps to amplify your business. If you want to be a growth amplifier, if you want to achieve the results that you're ultimately capable of, then you're going to commit to achieving the results. You're going to take the actions needed to achieve the results. And you're going to stay on course until you achieve the results. So this has been an overview of Growth Amplifiers, how to amplify your business with Growth Amplifiers. I want you to think inside your mind this mantra: I am an amplifier. I am an amplifier. I want you to think I'm an amplifier. Right now, there's a signal inside of you. There's something that's pure, that's something that's passionate. You have a chance to amplify that for yourself, for your family, for your friends. When you shine that light bright, and you get excited about it and you put out that energy, you're going to inspire other people to do the same. You're not only going to have change for yourself, you have change for your friends, your family, for your community, for the world. So hope you found this helpful. Connect with us, Growth Amplifiers, and remember, you are an amplifier. So I'm signing off my live broadcast. And we didn't do questions today, but if you have questions for the next time, we will have other sessions, more sessions moving forward. We'll have the chat and attendees. We just didn't do it this time because this is an overview. We want to have this for other members coming on. So thank you very much. And we look forward to connecting with you soon.